Hello. Going to be starting at 3 o'clock and turning these, well, yeah, turning these into more pen-like objects. Right, almost 3 o'clock. That'll do. 1 minute to make a start. So yesterday we made the nib sections for the, as the name implies, the bit that the nib screws into. Like that. So now we are making the cap and the barrel. So the bits that these screw into. So we've got these blanks. We've got the colour change one. We've got that one that's customer order. These two that are for stock and they're just general blanks. We've got that general blank. That one is another customer order. So we're turning these down to about 15 mil. Let's get started. Right, so where did we want? So that was going to be the cap on that end. So barrel's going to be this end. That one doesn't matter. So we'll start with that one. Turn off the label. Feel free to ask any questions in chat. I shall try and keep an eye on it and answer them as best I can. Otherwise, you're in danger of just hearing me ramble on about nothing. Which I'm perfectly okay with doing. I'll try and get these done as quickly as possible. Probably going to go to about 5 today. So it'll be 2 hours. That should still work as my 0. So that's good. I'll 0 that one now. We'll go to 5 on there. Make the maths easy.
until degrees. 18 degrees. Now. I'm streaming, baby. And you're on camera. See you later. That was my wife. Coming to see me because she finished work. Right, so let's see. Good news, the zeroing that I did yesterday is still held in the memory, so it's going to be a bit quicker. Ouch. Health and safety note. Keep your fingers away from the spinny thing. If it hurts. Remind me, I need to put the ring off. I don't want any degloving on the camera. If you're wondering what I keep looking at to my side, there is that measures everything that's going on down here. So what I'm doing there is basically feeling the finish that I'm getting off of the rod of plastic, because your nerves on the end of your fingers are very sensitive, so you can feel where there are divots. So I can feel there's a couple around there, one or two here. If I wanted to be better for camera, I'll just do that. And that will better show off the material.
So nice and sparkly. I'm still not getting used to these camera angles. Nope, that way. Yep, so that's that one. I think that's turned down to size. Should probably measure it. What were we going to do with this one? We were going to drill in that end. Right. So what I did there when I worked away on here is there are teeth along this bit, and you want it to span across two of them, so you know that it's straight. But I've got a feeling this blank is bent like the last one. So we should be turning off enough material to get that straight. Tighten that one
Okay, so there's going to be a hole there. A lot of this is done by listening, feeling it, looking at it. And it sounded like there's going to be some sort of dent material there and there. It's always the risk when making materials is that you don't know if there's any imperfections within the rod itself. So I can feel something there. Hopefully, once we turn it down to the you turn it down to the full diameter. Hopefully that little mistake didn't move the saw post. So what happened then was I had the gear in the wrong direction. So it went up against this and started moving this back. I'm still hearing chattering here and here. Hopefully it will be small enough to stand off. We'll see you in a minute. This is one of my blanks, so if it does go completely wrong, I can always make another. If sound quality needs improvements or if I need to speak up, please let me know. So this is this bit done to size.
see if there's, okay, I can see where that chip is there. That's a bit of glitter that's popped out. Apart from that, it's all good. There's a little bit there. Where's that gone to? Okay. Where's that turned down too much? I'm measuring from the wrong bit. Okay. Thought I'd messed up there, but it's all good.
So this end is going to be the cap.
Could have done with a little bit more purple at that end, but that's okay. Right, so we now have two, three, four, five, 6 blanks, all turned to size. We need to work out where's the cap, where the barrel is, how long we're going to make them in the end. I know that all of these sections that I previously made are all made the same, so we can just take one out of there, screw in the nib, pop the converter in the back. Now we can use this as a measuring device so that we can work out where we want the cap, where we want the barrel. We're basically doing that. So I reckon we want the barrel on this to be about there. So if I put a mark there, get my ruler, I know that, where is it? Where did I put it? There. The nib and the section, 50mm. So I know that if I put that to 5, if I cut it there, it will be a 145mm pen. It's about right. And then, because I know I'm going to put a tenon of about 7 or 8 inches. 7 or 8 inches? No, 7 or 8 millimeters on. So we need to be about 600, and then some for the cap, so that we know that this is drilled out to about there. So that's going to be used. That's going to be cut off. We need about 60, like I said, so we can cut that about there, so that we know then that we're going to have that as the cap, that as the barrel, that bit and that bit will be just cut off wastage. We can do that for all the other pens if we've got specific parts that we want. We can just mark them. If we have bits that we want to remove, we can mark them. So this one, I really want the end, the purple bit. I really want this to be the cap. So, like I said before, you need about 60. There, and if I put it's going to be cut there. So that one. This one doesn't really matter because the pattern is the same all the way through. So we can just put the 1 mark on this one. So if we want it 145 again, see, we want it about 150 because of the design. So we're just going to cut it about there. See, I put the cut there. Remeasure this one because I know that we've got to put a bit in there, so we need to up it about 5 mil. Again, this one doesn't really matter, so just for ease, because I've already got the bit, we're going to have this side is going to be the barrel. Put that there. The other side is going to be the cap. This one is the customer order, so we need to check. So he wants it short, and it's going to be one of them. So if we have that as the end of the barrel, this is the end of the cap, we're going to be about 140. So 145. We'll put that there. Then we'll sort the cap out on that one later. What on earth was that? What is BG? I'm not good with acronyms. With this one, what did we say before? We said yesterday what we were going to do with this one. Hello, by the way. I think that was going to be that was going to be the end of the barrel, because I wanted this bit to be thin so that it would heat up quicker, because I know that material doesn't like colour changing, whereas this material colour changes quite well. So 150 again, because we've got the 5 mil or roughly thereabouts. Background. Fair enough. So we've got the my brain's gone. Yeah, gonna cut it there. Can't remember what I was gonna say. Couldn't have been important. Where did I put the lid to my paint pen? Don't forget the drinking game. If I drop something like that, take a sip. If I drop something and swear, finish your drink. Right, so I need to change the tool to the parting tool. Right, start off with this one.
cap.
That's the barrel. We're going to be drilling out the barrels first, so I'm going to pop that down there. So this was the customer order, which is a there. I've been thinking about it, what I could do whilst I'm doing this, save a bit of time, doing the centre. So we know that's the right end of the barrel, doing the drilling, and go down there. Oh. Down there. Well, my head wasn't screwed on. There. That's it. Right. So now we can remove that because we're not going to be doing any more. Actually, no, we've got to turn the tenons. Right. Barrel caps. So we now have our 6 barrels. With the green marks on. I nearly said orange because I'm an idiot. Green, 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 green. We know that the tenons are going to be on the green side. Put that one back in. So what we're doing now is this is the tenons and the threads that the cap screws onto. So we are starting at 15.5. So we need to get this down to 12.6-ish. Let's go in 2 mil. And we want to go 4 and bit. Okay, so we want to go in about 400 on that. That's 12.86. So there we go. So what we can do is we can now zero that. We can go in with each one. We know that dimension is going to be right. So I just have to look on one measurement rather than 2. Yep. I was doing it by like this allows me to make quite a few a week. It also means that if I do them all the same, people can mix and match their pens. So most of my pens will have the same dimensions and use the same threads. So now I can take the tool post off because that won't be used for a little while. Take that off. It's not going to be used for a little while. that one. Done with one I normally use, it's got collar on. What it is. Right, got to thread it first. Almost messed up. Don't tell me I've misplaced the thing. Oh. I've only got one or two Allen keys that are the right size for these grub screws. When I misplace them, I get annoyed. It stresses me out. I don't like it. I try and put them in the same place every time, but I forget. I've got a little tray down there with all the bits that I don't like losing. I should put my brain in there at some point. Right, so this bit we need quick reactions. That's what I've got to do is thread onto that. When it comes to this lip, this is going to want to spin round, and I need to stop the lathe before this arm hits this, otherwise the threads will be ruined. So we start off like that. And it catches. Let me do that. Which is why I only use the slowest setting, not the shortest setting. To help if I could use words. Right. Glad we ended on that one. This is the one that we're going to have to use the small drill bit for. So work that in there. Again, high-tech methods. So that green mark is the end of this. So we know how much we're going to drill out. So what you're going to see is that it will start coming out in swirls. At some point it's going to turn to dust when it gets too hot. Which is why I need to keep that nearby.
You'll see at the end it's just gone to powder, so it's got a little bit too hot. Basically, I want to minimise the amount of powder that comes out by just taking shallow cuts. The further it goes in, the more heat build-up there'll be, and more friction. We've just got into the red there. It's good. It tells me that the red goes all the way through at the end. So we can put that through a bit away. Don't need that, I think. No, because none of those are. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's that? Oh, you idiot, Dennis. Alright, got to that one. Right, so because we've pre-drilled this with the thinner drill bit, there won't be as much heat build-up when we go to the full diameter drill bit, which means we should get a better finish on the inside, which is what you want, because this is going to be internally polished. So that's not very hot at all. Didn't want that to happen. Bear with me. Right, I'm going to have to try and sort this out. I did not want this to happen. So what's happened is that's come out of there. So trying to get it back in.
happens when I get distracted. Right. Thing is, I cannot continue until this is fixed. Right. Not been my week. See if we can get this end bit off. Get this end bit off. I'll show you what the hell's going on. Turn it off. Right, so just taking this bit off so that we can try feed this bit through and seeing what the hell's going on, and then we can put this bit back on. So I've not had to do this before, so this is a new experience. So as I was saying at the beginning of the week, I took the whole slide off. And that was a pain in the rear end. So let's see how much of a pain this bit is to get off. Okay, so all of the all the bolts are incredibly greasy. I suppose that's good in a way. This means I cannot get a grip on the blighters. Oh, come on. I don't want to tip it up. Got it. This one is going to be there. Oh no, it shouldn't be an annoying one actually, because this whole thing seems to be quite loose, so it should be able to take the whole thing off. I think what the problem is that where this bit isn't fully straight, come on, got it. Right. Yeah, so that's got a little bit of wobble to it. So it's not meeting that bit. But now I can see what's going on in here. I think I know what's happened. Because that looks way too wide to go in. Right, so what's happened is there's a little bit in there which should fit in that channel, but it's turned, so it now spans across that channel, which is not letting that bit go back in. So what I think I'll do is use some new tools I got. So I got a set of punches. So what we're going to do is just gently tap that round. Okay, maybe not gently tap it round, maybe just move it a bit. There we go. So that bit's now seated back in there. Now turn it round. I don't want that to happen. Try and get that little bugger back in there. Come on. Got it. Turning it the wrong way like an idiot. Alright, so now that can go back on there. Because it's trapped by the other bit. Where's I put that Allen key? Don't do this to me. There. So we can now tighten these up. See, what I was thinking of doing was occasionally theming bits so that when I have to do the lathe maintenance, doing it like this on camera so people can see, and if people want to, if people have their own lathes and they want to see someone take it apart, put it back together, then I can point them to my videos and say that's how you do it. But not sure how it would show up well. This has put a little bit of a dent in what I wanted to do today, so I'm not going to get everything done now. Just hopefully haven't knackered the inside of that pen, because that is going to be a pain to polish. Come on. Put that in. So that's tight. Just make sure we'll tighten up. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. And that's tight. Right. If you hear me say "oh" like that, normally means I'm about to swear afterwards. Right. Should we try that again? So I've got to quickly lube this up again. Might have put a little bit too much in there. Going to be squelching, that's for sure. Oh, there we go. So I just want to have a quick look. Well, yeah, maybe all the swear words are going on up here. Okay, so that looks all right. I think I might have got away with that. Let's have a look. Maybe not. So there's some clear bits here that I wanted to have clear. But it looks like there's chatter in the material on the inside. So what I might do is get the boring bar, basically go in like that. Oh yeah, I can feel that. That feels awful. Go in and sort of turn out that inside bit once it's shaped. So once it's shaped, I'll know how much I can do that by. Might do it now, just to get it out of the way. Can that reach all the way down? That's the question. Yes, it can. Yeah, we're going to do it now. Right, so what I'm going to do now, so we want to use my high-tech method again. basically we'll find where that bit is. From about there. So I'm going to pop that in. Out there. I'm going to wind this way a bit so that this end starts cutting into the inside of the barrel. Run that down to the end of the barrel. Run it out so I can see that again. And then what I'll do is we'll return this back to the middle and we'll come out. That's the theory anyway. So that's the middle, so that shouldn't be clashing with the inside of that. Yeah. That's now cutting. Might have to use the longer one because the silver bit got in the way. Yeah. Right. Oh, that is the longer one. Well, bottom. How am I going to do this? Constantly losing things. There it is. I'll leave it for now and have a think. I might have to buy a new boring bar. Right, let's do that one that I forgot about. Not on form today. Keep on losing things, making mistakes. Keep dropping things again. No, Roy, take a sip. Got them. Right, so what I think is going to happen today is that we are going to end up drilling out all these, threading the insides, because I've got to do some boring on the inside as well. And I'll see how many caps we can make. I was hoping to get them shaped as well. I'm not sure if we will get them shaped.
This is the colour change one, so you should see it change colour as it's being drilled.
So hopefully that end bit would have turned a little bit bright blue, but it hasn't.
So this has got lots of inclusions in it. So the ribbons that are coming out are full of holes, because as the inclusions like glitter and whatnot come out, they just make holes in the material.
No problem. Right, you won't be able to see it. I have to wash my hands properly when I get in. I'm covered in oil, grease, and
Grit.
keep forgetting to do that.
So the general rule when using a lathe or anything that spins, no gloves, no jewellery that dangles from your neck, no rings. If you've got long hair, tie it back. If you've got a long beard, tie it back. Most importantly, don't put your dick in it.
I am going to change this for one of the smaller ones. I hate Allen keys. I really hate Allen keys. I swear, when I was taking this lathe apart the other week, or last week, whenever it was, every single bolt I came across, different size Allen key. Finally. When you've only got one Allen key of each size, it's a pain. The balls, one goes missing. Yeah. And that is the thing which frustrates me the most. Just measuring this up now. How much I need to take off. So again, this is mostly guesswork. All I'm doing is just creating a little channel for the wide part. Basically, when you thread something, there'll always be a wider part near the lip at the end because of where the threads end on the taps and dies. So you either have a trough in the end there, or you have one in the barrel. I've generally found that it's better. I find it better to have one in the barrel. Other people say otherwise. This is just the way I make them. It's only about, what, probably less than a mil that you're going in by. It doesn't matter which way you do it, you're always take a sip. You're always going to have a thinner wall on one piece or the other. I've found that if anything breaks, it's easier to fix that bit than it is to fix that bit. again, aren't we? So what I'll do is I'll probably shape the Gaia one straight away, because that's going to be easier to do, because there's no more turning on that one. So that's that one. Yeah, so I'll shape this one straight away, and then that'll be that one done, and then these ones we'll just prep for shaping. First we need to thread them. Ha. 0.7mm Allen key. No. There are a number of things I'd rather do than that. Unfortunately, most of them are not repeatable. Right, okay, so I use 2 taps for doing this bit. It's one to do the initial cut, which is marked with the pink. So this may need a bit of help cutting through the material. You can see the heat build up as it's turning yellow. So that's the initial cut, and then I use this one to go in again to help deepen those cuts a little bit. Funny thing is, those taps are supposed to be the same size, however they're not. So that would be the tolerance you're allowed in the taps, and I've just managed to get 2 that seem to work together. Right, so I tend to tap further than I go with the barrel, further than I go with the section, unless I've got a see-through one. Then I'll go basically to the end of where the threads are on the section, so that it looks a bit better. So I think this one might, yeah, you can slightly see inside of this one. So what I'll do is take that off for one. Green gone. You go into about there. I'll do the other see-through one now because I've got that green mark. once I go through to the other ones, that green mark will probably disappear. This is where the green's going to go. As I've said before, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in chat, or if you just want to suggest anything, or hell, throw some insults my way, it's fine. It's all good. Anything you want to say, go for it. Don't bite, honest. Or even if you've got any suggestions for different shaped pens, it's fine as well. I'll show you what I'm working on in a minute. So I have another one of my faceted pens just by me over there. They're the ones that you can't do in a lathe because there's too many flat edges on them. So this will just skin off a little bit more. Which will just make the section screw on that a little bit easier. We should do anyway. That's the theory. So we've got a sample. So that thread's on really easy, even though the threads are quite mucky. They haven't been cleaned. So for example, this is one that we've just gone through with the other one. You've got some squeaky threads going on there. There's a little bit extra force to get on. However, after this, no squeaky threads. Threads on and off really easily. So I'm skidding. So this is the one that just going on a little bit. So sometimes you have to go a little bit deeper with the threads when you first thought, which is why I test each one. Make sure that they're ready to go before I take them out of the lathe. It's just a little bit of quality assurance. And I've just noticed something, the camera hasn't stopped. So when I first started streaming on this platform, the camera would constantly stop. I've not had that so far. And now I've said that, it probably will stop. Because that's the way reality works. Yeah. Like I said, it's probably going to stop now because, well, reality likes to bite you in the butt sometimes. So I can see these threads. These threads go down to there, where my thumb is, and this. There's probably about a millimetre's worth of threads after the section ends, which isn't too bad. You're going to be able to see the colour change. It's the heat build up. If you're a pen maker and you want to work out where your heat builds, where you're building up heat when you're making pens, if you're using a heat reactive material like cellulose acetate or other materials that react badly to heat, get some of the color change Alumilite rods and make a pen or make a couple of pens out of them, because then you'll be able to show, then you have a visible representation of where your heat buildup is. So threading through to there, you can see it's gone yellow. So I know now that when I'm threading, the heat builds up to about there, just beyond the threads. Right, so they're all threaded, ready for shaping now. They need little dimples in the end. So what I'll do, because I've got the chuck in there, I'll get the small center drill. What we'll do is we'll just whack a couple of small So this is just for the live center to go into. This is the live center. It's called a live center because this bit spins. You do get non-live centers or dead centers, which don't spin. But when I was saying about heat build-up, the ones that don't spin, all the friction is there, and so you can get blistering or other bad reactions with material. So for pen making, it's always useful to have a live center. Right, bit of shaping now. Hello, Derby Ginger. we're doing. Need that bit. Right, so this is a really simple bit of shaping. All I've got to do is get rid of this bit at the end, and then we'll have a gentle sort of taper and just curved. Well, it's going to have a flat end, but it'll just be a gentle curve on the corner. So don't need to turn anything using the lathe. This is all done by file. Where's my thing? There's my thing. File. Over there. So two types of file. We've got bastard file here, which has got a rough and a sort of semi-smooth, and an extra fine file, which has got two sides of pretty smooth. Right, so that is shaped. Nice quick job. Just gonna run some sandpaper over it, get rid of some of the tool marks. And drop a load of sandpaper everywhere. So this is basically the first stage of sanding the pen. 240 grit, just getting rid of all of the major tool marks. So we've got some lateral spiral tool marks here. So just using the really rough sandpaper to get rid of them. Might need to go down a grit and use the 150. Oh, there's dust and stuff everywhere. I do most of my shaping by hand. I prefer it that way, to be honest. Then, yeah, dust is an issue. Normally, I would have some sort of mask on, like I had yesterday with when I did some bits on there, which is just there. But I am not very what's the word I'm looking for? Very good at remembering to put it on. Okay, so let's go here. Why is that like that? Keep on seeing reflections of glitter and thinking it's holes in the material. Like that one there looks like a hole, but it's not. For some reason, we are getting a little bit of blistering at the end of the material here. I'm trying to sand that away. To make it a lot easier when we go to sanding it properly. That should be right. So that's that one shaped. That's ready for the cap to be done. And then sanding. Yeah, most of my pens are unique because I do them by hand. It's very rare that I'll make the same pen twice. Normally when I'm doing collaborations with people. Right, so what have we got here? We've got an Aphrodite, which is this one. We'll put them away and do the Flanagans, which are going to be these ones. So that's the one I want to do first because this is, I've got an idea of what this is going to look like in my head. So we're going to turn it down. It's going to come to a point where this red bit is. So it's going to be yellow, 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 and then with a red pointed end. That one is commissioned, so that's a customer order. I had two people wanting the same pen, so I said I would try and remember how to make the blank, and I would make one similar. It's not exactly the same because you can't make the same blank twice. It's just impossible to get it exactly the same. The mix and the swirling pattern, it's not going to be the same. Then, so I've made that one, but I do have the recipe for that particular blank, so I can make it again. I've got a couple of blanks that I do make, so this is one of them. So I've got those ones are the same recipe. As you can see, they are very different. These ones are similar. I think I used a different green with these. Yeah, there you go. These are the two which are like that one. Obviously with this one, all of the yellows have merged together into one, but you still got that red end. And with this one, the red didn't mix in with the rest of it properly. It's just sort of dribbled down the edge of the blank. With these ones, so this one is sort of didn't mix properly. It still looks quite nice. With these ones, they mixed a lot better. But they're all using the same recipe. But with this one, my daughter, who is 6, came up with the colour mix for this one. She chose all of the colours to go into it, as well as the other one that's like this with the different green. Right, so we've trapped the first sort of 15-20 mil of the pen in the chuck. We've got this one stabilised by the live centre. So we run this in. In fact, if we come back here, put it there, zero this. So that's zeroing the measurement that way and that way. We can then come back here, and we know that this particular blank is 72.835 mil long, and the end of this is 0.06 millimeters thicker than this bit. Yeah, so she chose, I did all the mixing because I'm not letting my 6-year-old mess around with toxic chemicals, because that's just not right and probably quite illegal. So she chose the colour mix, and she wanted it to be sort of earth colours. So the blues and the whites are supposed to be the sea and the sky with clouds and waves, and then the green is supposed to be sort of the land. That's what she wanted. Right, so I've actually got measurements in this one, so we're going to go. So that was 0.6. Right, so let me just get my. Right, so we get that down to 0. Set that to 0. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself at the moment, just trying to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Because my brain isn't working again.
Right, so this should turn it down to there. Right, so maybe 5 millimeters. So I'm going to have to sort of concentrate on this one for a little bit because I don't want to mess it up. But I can do this. I can get that finished if I just use the auto feed. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically creating steps like contours on a map. We're halfway down the pen now, so we can make these contours a bit deeper. So before I had the digital readout, which does the measuring for me, I used to do all this by eye pretty much. messed up there slightly. $60. $65. $70. Right. I don't know if you heard that, but you can finish your drink, so I just dropped something and swore.
So that is the basic shaping done. So now what I'm going to do tomorrow is just file that into a point and get rid of this little bit at the end. But it's 5 o'clock now, so that is going to be at the end. Thank you for coming to watch. Thank you for chatting. And Thursday tomorrow, I think. So I'm going to be working till 1. Have lunch. Probably going to be here about 2ish. Give or take. And I shall see you then. Take care.